Taught on Gopal Krishna Maharaj's pastimes.
Y-
So I hope
Yes,
that would be fine.
yeah, dedicated to Maharaj.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. जयानिलो प्रेमा घना करुणा प्रचुर है न प्रभु को था गिला आचार्य ठाकुर जे अनिलो प्रेम धना करुणा प्रचुर है न प्रभु को था गिला आचार्य ठाकुर कहाँ मोरा स्वरूप रूपा कहाँ सनातन कहाँ दास रघु नाथ पतित पावन कहाँ दास रघु नाथ पतित पावन जय नीलो प्रेमाधना करुणा प्रचुर है न प्रभु को था गिला आचार्य ठाकुर कहाँ मोरा भट्ट जुगा कहाँ कबीरा एका काले को था गेला गौरा नटराज एका काले को था गेला गौरा नटराज पाषाणे कुतीबो मथा आनले पाशिबो गौरांग गुनीरा निधि कोथा गेले पाबो शेषाब संगीरा संगे जे कोइलो विलास से संगे ना पाइया कदे ना रोता मदास से संगा न पाइया कंदे ना रोता मदास जे अनिलो प्रेमाधना करुणा प्रचुर हे न प्रभु को था गेला आचार्य ठाकुर जय अनिलो प्रेमाधना जय वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर जय गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल Translation: He who bought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such personality as Advaita Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Roop Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where is my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopala Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock, enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Mataji, for singing the bhajan and reading the translation. So, Vrajapati Prabhu ji will be giving the class on Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Prabhuji, over to you.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu, can you share, or maybe I can share from here? Let me just
Yeah, you
the
can share,
verse.
Prabhu.
Okay, just 2 minutes. Okay. I hope you are able to see, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah, it is loading.
Okay. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Rayanam Namaskritam Chevan Duttam. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतस्य वै भवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्ट हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी भानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, my voice is audible, right?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Okay. So, thank you, Prabhu, for giving this, whatever the opportunity to do service, something for my own purification to share on this kind of on Bhagavatam. So, as it came immediately, the opportunity, I just selected one of the verses from our list of couple of selected verses. So, this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 16, and verse number 16. Okay. So here actually it is a description is about Maharaj Parikshit. Okay. So let's go to the verse, then we will see the translation. Okay. So verse is Saratya Parashadase Vanasaukya Dautya Virasnanugamana Stavana Pranaman Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pratim Cha Vishnu Bhakti Kautirupati Sharanarvinde. So, Apu, do we have to go through word by word? Hare Krishna. Okay.
Prabhu, we can read the translation directly.
Directly, right? Okay, yeah. So let's go to the translation purport. We have short class. Okay. So, so this verse actually in the translation purport is the one this is Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki jai. So translation: Maharaj Parikshit heard that out of his causeless mercy, Lord Krishna, Vishnu, who is universally obeyed, rendered all kinds of service to the malleable sons of Pandu by accepting posts ranging from chariot driver to president to messenger, friend, night watchman, etc., according to the will of Pandavas, obeying them like a servant and offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parikshit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. Purport. Lord Krishna is everything to the unalloyed devotees like the Pandavas. The Lord was for them the supreme Lord, the spiritual master, the worshipable deity, the guide, the chariot driver, the friend, the servant, the messenger, and everything they could conceive of. And thus the Lord also reciprocated the feelings of the Pandavas. Maharaj Parikshit, as a pure devotee of the Lord, could appreciate the Lord's transcendental reciprocation of the feelings of his devotees. And thus he himself also was overwhelmed with the dealings of the Lord. Simply by appreciating the dealings of Lord with his pure devotees, one can attain salvation. The Lord's dealing with his devotees appear to be ordinary human dealings, but one who knows that them in truth become at once eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. The Pandavas were so malleable to the will of the Lord that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for the service of the Lord. And by such an unalloyed determination, they could secure the Lord's mercy in any shape they desired. Hare Krishna. So, first of all, my Dandot pronounced to all the Vaishnavas, the devotees present here on this Akash assembly of all our troopers. Okay. Many of you are elevated stalwart devotees and scholarly in Shastras, like our Namras Prabhu and many of other devotees. So, I will just like to quickly reflect on this verse and share, because I didn't have time also to prepare, but whatever from the readings, what I could recollect, as a mercy of Hari Guru Vaishnavas, I will try to recollect that. So, as we see here in the verse, it is mentioned about how Lord is actually there are two qualities are mentioned, one of the Lord and one of the devotees. Okay. How Lord is being so much lovingly trying to serve the devotees. Okay. Krishna is so kind, although we may have committed so many offenses or so many mistakes, he's caring for everyone. He's like well-wisher for each and every living being. That living being may be even inimical to the Lord. Lord is always well-wisher for them. Even for atheists also, Lord is providing. Even for any animal, they don't know about any spirituality or anything. Any amoeba or any like a worm in any like filthy place. Okay. So Lord is providing and caring for everyone, but Lord wants everyone to really uplift their consciousness and go upwards, become Urdhvareta, like gradually go towards the supreme destination, supreme goal that everyone were love chasing for, especially in human form of life. There is a rare opportunity that we have to chase that goal of like what is called as Pancham Purushartha, Prema Pumartha Mahan, like going back home, back to Godhead in that eternal service, loving service to the Supreme Lord. That's what we desire, and that's what we are hankering for. Somehow, as we were wandering in this so many lifetimes, millions of lifetimes, we got this opportunity to somehow, by Krishna's grace, we can say, or grace of so many devotees in this lifetime, maybe in the past life, those who prayed for us, those who blessed us, and we got opportunity to serve them. So all by cumulative mercy of all these devotees and Vaishnavas, somehow we got opportunity to take Rupa, the distinction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually, whose only goal is actually is for pure devotion service. Although we are not in that platform pure devotion at this moment, we are struggling with our desires, but whatever. As Bhagavatam says, Akama Sarva Kava Moksha Kama Udharati, Tivran Bhakti Yogena Jitha Purusha Param. Like we may have multiple desires. Yesterday only I was hearing, there was Gaurang Darshan Prabhu here, and a couple of devotees were asking questions to him. He gave class yesterday here in Bangalore. So a couple of devotees were asking like how to if someone has the desires, how to purify them, or what is the process if someone has the material desires. So like that's the same process. Bhagavatam, what is calling Tivrena Bhakti Yajita Purusha Param. We may have no desires, akama, like desire for only liberation, or sarva kama, or so many material desires, or moksha kama. Sorry, akama means we don't have any desires. Sarva kama, so many desires we may have, or moksha kami, or we don't desire for liberation. So whatever may be the case, what you should do, you should try to Tivren Bhakti Yogi, Yajita Purusha Param. So with intense devotion service, obviously that intensity I am saying, but I am sometimes, many times, majority times, I feel that these are words that I have to actually imbibe. They are not in the intensity, that level, and that's where the struggles comes. But obviously, when we have that intense devotion, then obviously this struggles goes, and we can develop that sincerity. Because here you see this word in this verse also, there is word Prabhupada mentions how the malleable. Malleable means one who are ready to adjust to the Lord, who are ready to sacrifice for the pleasure of the Lord, and ready to like adjust to the will of the Lord, plan of the Lord, not without making any complaint. Okay, so that is what malleable. Okay, so Pandavas are considered, they are the malleable to the will of the Lord. They got so many, like we see in the Mahabharata, so many obstacles that came in their life, so many troubles came in their life. Okay, even Kunti Maharani is asking for many troubles actually. That like she's asking for, give me more vipada, more troubles, so that we can remember you. Anyways, that's the position of Mother Kunti. But main thing is that as we see, Pandavas became like, why they received so much mercy of the Lord and reciprocation from the Lord. Obviously, one thing is that as a person, first thing you can say that, okay, someone may say that they are associates of the Lord, so they got a mercy. What for our struggling sadhakas like us, for us, what is the case? But it's not only the Pandavas who are showing the example for us, that being malleable to the will of the Lord, being flexible to the plan of the Lord, especially dynamic plans of the Lord, because the plans of the Lord that come in our life, they are not static or they are not fixed. We cannot break that. There is always dynamism. Like you can see that now we serve Gurudev so many times. Every one of you are on the troopers. We are trying to serve Gurudev many times in with our capacity during Kartik Parikrama or during different festival or projects. So many times, even if you are serving with Gurudev, you can see that many times there are dynamics involved, and sometimes the plan changes immediately. So you don't know, like that. That's the case of when we are serving with your spiritual master. There are so much dynamism is also involved. Same is the case. We cannot predict the plan of the Lord. So we can have, like many times devotees say, you may have your plan, I may have my plan, but Krishna is his eternal plans. And whatever will happen, that will happen as per his plan, divine will. And obviously we should be able to ready to accept and adjust to that. Sometimes the plan, we may feel it's not favorable to us, but in long run it could be favorable for our own purification and progress ahead in Krishna consciousness, to bring us more near to the Krishna, more ahead in path of devotional service. And sometimes that may look like favorable, but yeah, we have to see. It's not like always everything will go as per our desire, but we have only thing that we have is to be prayerful in sincerity. We can pray to Him. Like another day, I was hearing a lecture at our from one senior brahmachari here. I forgot his name. At ISKCON ACS layout. So he also pointed out a very wonderful thing. He said that, see, the mercy of the Lord only is only single point away from us. What is one? Everyone can get the mercy of the Lord. Only one thing is separating that from that. Only one thing is that that is separating us from that mercy. What is that thing? Is your own prayer. If we can pray to the Lord, Krishna is just easily available. Okay. Obviously, that all we say 9 praise or devotional service are there. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Maranam, Archanam, Padasevanam. So Sakhyam. So all that 9 praise or devotional service are there. And within that, obviously, the prayer, the Vandanam. I think yesterday only Gurudev was saying in his class, yesterday or today morning, the Vandanam, okay, how we can offer our own prayers to the Lord, so that we can open up our heart and see, like when we pray from our heart, we know what are our shortfalls are there, what are our struggles are there. We can open up and cry to the Lord and see, ask for His mercy. And when we pray, we also become humble, because when we are praying, we also reflect on our mistakes or whatever different struggles in our life. Okay, so the prayer is the best way to be humble and to connect more to the Lord. Okay, so so that's why, like if we are gradually able to develop that kind of sincerity and prayer, like flexibility, like Pandavas being malleable, then Lord also becomes very merciful, and the mercy comes in various ways, through devotees, through services that Lord offers through devotees. Okay, we don't know, sometimes the immediately the some service comes which we never imagined. Okay, which I remember when I really reflect on a couple of services I got in the past. I'm never qualified for that services still, but Krishna gave it. I don't know how he gave it, but at that time, sometimes I feel maybe the prayers that were there at that time. And yeah, sometimes the services also go away from you, but there's nothing that's okay. It's not always every service will be permanent with you, but you have to be ready to whatever service comes in front of you. You should be ready to uh, grab that opportunity. Okay, like sometimes so many services comes in front of us, but when we are caught up with so many things and all, but we should be sharp enough to at least grab the opportunity to serve the devotees. Okay, that is the best thing. Okay, not all our services maybe we will be able to do, but at least if we can grab the opportunity to serve devotees, Vaishnavas, Hariguru Vaishnavas, then obviously gradually more and more mercy will come, because serving Vaishnavas is the best thing. Okay, Namakirtan and Vaishnava Seva, these are the two best things Mahaprabhu emphasizes in Chaitanya Amrita. So that way actually we can gradually also attract the mercy of the Lord. And we can see like so many examples are there in history of different saintly personalities, that how Lord became able to them, how he was eager to serve them. Okay, like I recollect there is a story of uh, like Narsimha Mehta. Okay, so he was, I think, he's a great saint in Gujarat. Gurudev is in Gujarat. Okay, so he used to sing in a particular raga. I think I forget which particular raga was there, but he was very beautiful uh, like singer, and he used to sing bhajans from the heart to the Lord, his own prayers in various bhajans. So obviously there are also in so thing happened like that uh, someday sorry yeah there was some brahmana was there, okay, and he wanted to, I think, marry his daughter or something like that, but he didn't have money. Okay, so he went to some personality, like some saukar, the people who gave some loan or something. Okay, so he went to that person and he said, okay, I want money. So no, sorry, she was asking for to whom he can go to get help. He was asking for that help, actually, sorry. uh, he was asking for the help in the village. Someone told him go to Nasim Mehta. Nasim Mehta didn't have much money. He was also like obviously Kinchan. Lord Kinchan with sincere devotee. Sometimes they live like a life of a Kinchan, not much wealth and all. So he was also living a life of a Kinchan, not much wealth. So Brahmana asked, okay, he want to marry his daughter and he didn't have money or something. So then he said, okay, how can I help you? So then he went. Narsimha Mehta went to, I think, nearby that Saukar or something like that. So he said, the Saukar said, okay, I can give the money, but only if you could give me, like udhar dete, sometimes something you take it for what we call, exact word I could not recall in English. Okay, moderation, mortgage, you can say something like that. So they said, okay, so I would take, I need one mortgage from you. He said, okay, I can give you, because he was a little bit inimical also to our Lord, because he used to talk with us a lot. Okay, like he used to always have like personal relations, Lord. So people, there were some people who were favorable to the Nasya Mehta, and some were inimical. So that person said that, okay, I can give you the loan, but you have to mortgage your that particular which you sing, you blissfully sing the glories of the Lord. So actually, that was the main, I think, main raga where he used to experience so much bliss in singing that. Somehow Narsimha agreed for that, no problem. He said, I will not sing in that raga, glories of the Lord, no problem. So somehow then that he got some money which he helped through which he helped that Brahmana. And now somehow the things happened that people then complained that okay, someone complained to the nearby king that see Narsi Mehta is not a saintly person, he's just like a cheater. Okay, so you should take action on him. Somehow after complaining, some influential people they complained to the king. The king called Narsi Mehta in his darbar. Okay, and he was asking, okay, people are saying you're just making a fool of the people, your devotion. So he said that, okay, if you are really the same, I have one challenge for you. Okay. So he said, see here in front of you, there is a deity of Lord Krishna. He's standing. Okay. So if you are so sincere, your devotee, saintly personality, then you should sing glories to the Lord, and the Lord should come to you. Okay. He should walk to you. Okay. Now everyone was laughing. Everyone was saying, okay, how is possible? How deity can walk and come to him? Okay. Somehow he was like crying out or something. Like, obviously, he started singing out his bhajans. Okay, considering it is a divine will of the Lord. Obviously, he become malleable. Whatever will of the Lord. Otherwise, king said, if you don't do that, then I will punish you because I know you are a cheater. So, anyways, he started singing the glories of the Lord. But obviously, he could not sing in that particular raga which he was of so much beloved raga, okay, through which he used to experience so much bliss in singing that. So he was a little bit upset internally. Okay, how could I sing that glories of the Lord in that particular raga where I could completely surrender myself and pray to the Lord? So, anyways, he was praying internally and being accepting what is the will of the Lord. So here, what happened that the Lord took a form of a humble menial servant of Narsimha Mehta. He went to that particular person who had make a note with whom our Narsimha Mehta took loan, and he gave that some Lakshmi to him. Okay, this is like gold coins. Take this and give that whatever raga you had mortgaged, give it back the later. Okay, so he gave in writing that okay, now Narsimha can sing in that raga, and somehow when he was Narsimha was singing, and that particular cheat of okay, you have been free from this, that came into his lap. So he didn't know how it happened, but he come to know that okay, he can sing in that particular raga, and then Narsimha started singing glories of the Lord, and Lord obviously was waiting for that moment, and then Lord, the deity actually came out, like he started walking, came to him, embraced the Lord, like Narsimha, and there was a nice reciprocation. So everyone witnessed that, and then obviously the glories of Narsimha were also established. So this actually also like the story in sense is like actually how Lord is always ready to be a humble, take humble position to be also servant of the Lord. Similarly, stories also of Damaji Pant in Maharashtra, Bidar, Damaji Pant from Bidar, who gave money to so many, like who was a like some mantri in a some Mohammedan like government at that time, Muslim government. Like it's a story around the time of Shivaji Maharaj in that similar time. So he gave at that time there was some all what you say drought was there. No one was getting any food or anything. But he opened the government go down and gave all grains to the people. And when the Nawab came to know, he just ordered him to capture. So he was also captured similar way. And then Lord Pandarinath Panduranga, he went as his servant to that Nawab. And Nawab was, even seeing the Lord in that form of a small boy, he was so much appreciating his beauty and all. And then Lord, he started giving that water, pouring the Lakshmi. It was like so much money, like he gave all the whatever the loan was there. He said, okay, take this money and just leave him. Whatever the expenses were there for the grains, you can pay from this one. And then and he went back. And then when Damaji Pant was relieved, and he came to that Vittu, his servant came. He said, I don't have any servant. Maybe the Lord came from Vittal. He came to give personally this wealth and whatever to relieve me. So the Nawab also became devotee. Like he came to Pandharpur to see the Lord Panduranga. So the similar story is there, but the main essence is how Lord becomes malleable to the Lord becomes subservient even to the pure devotees. Okay, obviously we are only willing to serve Lord and serve His devotees. So for us, the takeaway point from this verse is to becoming malleable to the will of the Lord, following the footsteps of Pandavas, accepting whatever comes by Krishna's will in our life, and grab the opportunity and always be ready to serve, seek the opportunity to serve Hari Guru Vaishnavas. So I think that's the essence I think I can see in this verse, and I would also like to imbibe this mood. It's very difficult to develop that sincerity and surrender, like Pandavas, how they were malleable. Um, so I hope somehow, by mercy of Vaishnavas and associating with all of sincere Vaishnavas like you, over the time, one day, at the fag end of life, at least I could be able to develop some sincerity, some drop of sincerity, so that I could serve and please all Hari Guru Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. So this is it. Any questions or any reflections, comments? Kindly share. Kindly share. Hari Guru.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam and sharing some vital points. Devotees, if you have any question, you can share your realization about the verse. We have few minutes for questions, then we'll start the diary chapter. Anyone?
Okay.
So we still have 10 minutes, Prabhuji.
Okay. I thought.
And I've shared the diary chapter also in the group. So if anybody would like to read the diary chapter. So should we start the diary chapter, Prabhuji? Because nobody is.
Sure, Prabhu.
Okay, so any devotee would like to read, or should I? Okay.
Prabhuji, I guess Nishika Mataji raised her hand.
Okay.
She wants to.
Okay. Yes, Mataji. You can read the diary chapter. I didn't see. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Sadhapana. Prabhuji, should I share or somebody else will be sharing?
If you can share, Mataji, you can share the screen if you. Are you able to share screen, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm trying.
Okay. Vrajapati, Prabhuji, you will have to stop, I think. Then only she might be able to share. Zoom may not allow multiple sharing. Try now, Mataji.
Prabhuji, is it visible?
Yes, we can see it. Yes, thank you.
Volume 4, Chapter 7, Happiness at the Orphanage, December 23rd, 2001. The road leading to the old orphanage on the hill was icy, so it took us several attempts to get our van to the top. We'd get halfway and then the wheels would begin to spin on the ice and we'd slide backwards. As we struggled, I could see little faces peering out of the orphanage windows, anxious for us to make it. Deprived by destiny of mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, these children were hankering for Christmas cheers. When we finally succeeded in maneuvering beyond the icy patches, the faces lifted up, then suddenly disappeared. It wasn't difficult to imagine where the children had gone. I envisioned them running from their rooms down the stairs to greet us. This wasn't the first time I'd been to this house in Chelyabinsk, which was served as an orphanage since the communist era. I came here last year during my last visit to the Ural Mountains regions in central Russia. As I got out of the van, I could see that the house hadn't been much improved. In fact, it was deteriorated. The eaves hung over the side, the paints were peeling, several windows were broken, and in general the creaky wooden buildings were badly in need of repair. But there was some improvement as a result of the kirtana we'd held last year, the stories I'd told, and the wonderful feast we'd distributed. Many of the children had taken a serious interest in devotional service. It hadn't taken much to convince them of the happiness of Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada once said that when a spark lands on a wet grass, it's extinguished. When it lands on a damp grass, it smolders. But when it lands on a dry grass, it immediately ignites. Similarly, when Krishna consciousness is presented to sinful materialists, nothing usually happens. When it's presented to the pious, they tend to become curious. But when it's presented to those seeking real relief from life's misery, it ignites a fire of devotion to the Lord. A few days after my last visit, several of the orphan teenage boys had begun chanting Hare Krishna on beats. They gradually worked their way up to 16 rounds a day. Their newfound enthusiasm was infectious, and soon other children became interested in chanting. Because the orphanage was poor and couldn't afford beads, they had ingeniously carved them from the branches of trees on the property. Before long, most of the 50 children were waking early in the morning to chant. In the evenings, they were assembling to read Bhagavad Gita, the older boys trying their best to explain the philosophical concepts to the younger ones. The more talented children began drawing and painting Krishna's pastime, and within a few weeks, every room in the orphanage boasted several windows of the spiritual world. Devotees from the area continued their weekly visits, bringing prasadam and holding kirtana with the children. Those devotees soon became the children's hero. The authorities didn't seem to mind until some of the children refused to eat meat, feigning illness or lack of appetite. The authorities didn't appreciate Krishna consciousness in the same way the children appreciated it. It's true, they had agreed that devotees could visit and teach the orphans devotional practices, but when they saw how spontaneously attracted to Krishna consciousness the children had become and how each of them had embraced devotional service, they put a stop to the practices. They forbade the children to chant Hare Krishna, read Srila Prabhupada's book, or decorate the orphanage with devotional drawings and paintings. They could forbid the devotees' visit, however, because the devotees provided the children's main meal of the week. But the authorities stopped everything else, or so they thought. In fact, Krishna consciousness has given the children such soothing relief from their bleak existence that nothing could hold them back. They began going to sleep early so they could wake up before dawn and chant softly on their beats without waking the authorities. They also met in their rooms or on the playgrounds and secretly shared stories about Krishna. When three of the boys reached legal age and graduated from the orphanage, they went straight to the local temple and joined. Orphans who found a place in foster homes, a step up from the orphanage, continued their Krishna conscious practices and began interest, interesting their new stepbrothers and stepsisters in devotional service. A spiritual revolution was taking place in Chelyabinsk. With the orphanage at its center, rumor had it that the head of the orphanage was about to clamp down on all devotional activity. But then she mysteriously lost her job. When I heard this news, I suspected Krishna was taking a direct hand in the orphan's life, and I saw the work of the super soul in everyone's heart when the new director turned out to be favorable to the devotee's visit and concern for the children. When she heard I was coming to Chelyabinsk, she asked the devotees to invite me to the orphanage to meet the children, most of whom had no memory of my previous visit because many were new orphans who had replaced the graduates and those who had gone to foster homes. When I entered the room where the children were assembled, the head of the orphanage introduced me as a Hare Krishna monk from America. Most of the children had never met a foreigner, and as I stood tall before them with my shaved head, saffron robes, and three danda, they stared at me in wonder. Then one of their teachers ordered them to stand and sing a song for me. As they rose, I couldn't help but feel pity for them. Their clothes were hand-me-downs, and a number of children had no socks or shoelaces. Some of the little girls had shaved heads because of lice, and when I saw the dark circles under the children's eyes due to the rigors of orphanage life, the whole scene reminded me of old black and white pictures of the distressed children during World War II. The woman at the piano cued them, and as she began to play, the children mechanically sang a song about Christmas. But with no Christmas presents of families with whom to share, the children simply sang the blues. Then the director asked a 9-year-old girl to come forward and recite a poem. Uttama Shloka translated it for me, and life is full of happiness at the time of the holiday season when we met and shared the joys of life with all our friends and loved ones. Suddenly she stopped and her eyes welled with tears. But it's not actually like that, she said, and covering her face with her hands, she ran crying back to her seat. For a few moments, no one said or did anything. Then I stood up and said, "Okay, children, we don't want this to be an unhappy holiday. Everyone come sit down here on the floor with me." The children hesitated. Unused to such informality, "It's okay," the director encouraged, and all the children ran forward and sat close to me. "We'll make sure to have a nice holiday, at least today," I said to the little girl who had tried to recite the poem. After telling the children a few of Krishna's pastimes, which had them wide-eyed and open-mouthed, I grabbed a mridanga and added, "And now our holiday will really begin." I asked them if they knew the Hare Krishna song, but only three children raised their hands, the one who were still in the orphanage from the previous year. We were beginning anew. I recited the mantra several times so they could learn it. Then I started the kirtana. At first, the children seemed too shy to chant, but when they noticed last year veterans chanting enthusiastically, it caught on, and soon all 50 children were chanting at the top of their lungs. When one of them stood up spontaneously to dance, the rest followed, and soon we were all dancing around the room. The children were desperate to enjoy the holiday season, so they gave the kirtana all they had. In so doing, everyone was swept away in bliss. I had the children take turns dancing in the middle of our circle, and even the orphanage teachers were amazed at their feat of twisting, turning, and leaping. There was a no there was no containing them, and I began to wonder if I had the energy to keep up. After an hour, I brought the kirtana to a close, and as I sat on the floor, all the children crowded around me. One boy said, "That was a real party, sir." Just then, several devotees brought in a multi-layered cake. The children's eyes lit up and they all ran for plates. I served big pieces to everyone and then served them again when they returned for second. I told a few more of Krishna's pastime as the children, satisfied by Kirtana and Prasadam, listened intently. Finally, as I stood up to go, the children pushed one of the older boys forward with a question: "Can we write to you?" "Yes, of course, and I'll write back." There was a stampede of pencils and paper. They wanted to write their first letter immediately. "What do we call you?" one boy asked. "Just call me Maharaja." "What does it mean?" "Something like Big Father," I said, and all the children clapped. As we got into our van and started back down the icy road with 50 or so heartfelt letters tucked into my bag, I again saw all the faces peering from behind the window panes, but this time each was smiling. I laughed and wondered how soon it would be before they'd all be craving japa beads and putting pictures of Krishna on the walls. It didn't look like there'd be any impediment this time. The Hare Krishna revolution in Chelyabinsk would continue in earnest. Krishnodkirtanena Gananartana Kalapathojani Brajita Sadbhaktavali Hamsa Chakra Madhupa Sri Cheni Viharapadam Karnanandi Kaladvanir Vahatu Me Jiva Maru Prangane Sri Chaitanya Dayanidhe Twa Shuddha Swardhuni. O my merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganga's water of your transcendental activities flow on the surface of my desert-like tongue. Beautifying these waters are the lotus flowers of singing, dancing, and loud chanting of Krishna's holy name, which are the pleasure adobes of unalloyed devotees. These devotees are compared to swans and ducks and bees. The river's flowing produces a melodious song that gladdens the ear. Chaitanya Charitamrit Adi Leela 2.2. Hare Krishna, Sadhya Pranam Prabhuji. Sorry for any mistake.
Thank you, Mataji, for reading the Mary chapter. So, devotees, um, um, if you have any realization, you can share about the Dari chapter. And the Bhagavatam, I actually asked, but Namarasa Prabhuji wanted to share realization. So we can discuss it together. Hare Krishna. Yes, Panjan, everyone. Yes, Prabhuji, go
Hare
ahead.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Um, I just was thinking about how um, in this material world we learn in the Srimad Bhagavatam that this place is full of misery and hypocrisy, and Krishna consciousness being such a wonderful process, um, it grows as we associate with devotees, Anandam Buddhivardhanam. So um, like initially even when I was in Krishna consciousness, I was very hesitant, and then when I saw the enthusiasm of senior devotees and those who are close to me, i I felt that this is a safe place, and this is my own family apart from my material family. I also have a spiritual family. So um, like so when Gurudev does his kirtan in this chapter for the kids, they just forget for 1 minute that they are living in orphanage. And when Gurudev says, "You can call me Maharaj," or like a older father, they actually can relate in the similar way. Like when we are in festivals or when we are associating with Gurudev, we actually no matter how our stressful jobs might be, our daily life might be, we just forget it for that moment that we are in this material world. We are we come to that level of joyfulness, kind of a transcendental level where we think that oh, this should never end. So um, yeah, means it is something really magical and to be experienced only in person. So uh, yeah, I just wanted to share this. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Even I can relate about Gurudev doing kirtan and kids forgetting about their what situation they are in. So like we say that we over the weekend we rush so many like attending so many classes, going to temple, attending the kirtans, festivals. So actually, uh, so this is about the Krishna consciousness thing we are doing, and when we come back and go back to our normal life, like 5 days we do, like doing our jobs and engaging with so many people. So even if there are problems, we forget it. Like um, it doesn't matter to us because we belong to somewhere else. So somewhere, so like devotees somewhere give example when we are passing through a very bad patch road. So if you are going through Maruti, it's like you will feel the jugs, and you're passing by the Mercedes or BMW, you will face lesser jugs. So Krishna consciousness is compared like that. So because of the activities we do in Krishna consciousness, so all these kirtans and festivals, um, uh, we actually forget the problems. Uh, so so this is a practical example, and so Gurudev has written in this diary chapter that how it changes or transforms the environment immediately. So generally we compare kids to be very energetic, enthusiastic, but since they were into such like it's orphanage, right? So and the girl started crying, and the Gurudev actually explained the problem those kids were going through, the saved heads, and the dark circles, but they all forget that and then started um, writing about to Srila Gurudev. This shows that it created even the affection for Gurudev immediately. So this is about the Krishna consciousness, and this is my relation also. Um, thank you very much. If anybody would like to speak.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, actually, you nicely pointed out as we take part into this Sankirtan, like as we can see, the kids were experiencing so much joy in participating in Kirtan with Gurudev and all. So today also, like today, there was a class by Dilbandhu Prabhu here, our Vrajapati sir, somehow, and I also asked one question to him, like regarding how to always remember, be in the mood of Vrajavasis, in short, to remember Krishna and not for us and only for Krishna. So is that to develop that mood? His voice is breaking.
I think
My voice is
there's
audible?
some static noise coming from somewhere, from maybe from your mic or maybe from.
Okay.
Try disconnecting the this headphone and then speak.
Headphone. Okay, maybe I will
Connect it from
disconnect headphone.
computer.
Yeah, I think I will
Computer only.
disconnect headphone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, your voice is not coming now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but that I think somehow that noise is still there.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe
Anyway, so the point was
it is
that
better than
yeah.
before. You can speak.
Okay. So the main point was Dinbandhu Prabhu mentioned that to develop the mood of Vrajavasi is to come to Vrindavan, attend yatras and serve devotees. That's the best way he said. If you want to serve, if you want to develop the mood of Vrajavasis, come to, like sometimes you come to yatras, serve Vrajavasis, serve the cows there, or serve some devotees. That's the best thing he said. So that once you go back from Vrindavan, then you can remember the Vrindavan. Okay, I was in this yatra, I participated in this yatra, I served devotees, I served Gurudev, also different, I went to different places and all. That way, that feeling of separation from Vrindavan will develop the mood of Vrindavan, consciousness. Okay, so he said. For that one, you have to come to the Vrindavan and participate in these activities. So that's what I was recollecting, like when we come to yatras with Gurudev and all this creates so much nice memories for us, which we could have as a lifetime, so that we can remember that and develop that mood of Vrajavasis to surrender to the will of the Lord. So that's the one thing. Yeah. And also, like I remembered, like from this diary chapter, like how like recently there was one nice video. I think we have also many new devotees who joined. So maybe they can also look into this Mongolia video. I just shared the link of that. It was which you can see for this how Gurudev is visiting the orphanage in Mongolia. So that was wonderful.
Yes. And I like this point, bro. I realize this personally, and from few devotees also who go to yatra. So like whenever we go there with Srila Gurudev and stay there for couple of weeks, it changes. So I cannot measure it, but I realize that some way we change after coming from yatra, so that the remembrance of dham is there, but it also elevates our consciousness, like um, the way of our chanting changes, the way of our behavior changes, the matter we deal with, so our response changes after yatra, and remembrance of dham is will be there maybe for couple of months or 3 months, and then it fades away. But the change we gain after the yatra is something is helping our devotion basically. So it is true that that's why even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned about Dham was so that we in our devotional services, whatever we do, Dham was is also important. So that's correct, absolutely. And also whenever we associate with Srila Gurudev, and so after so long exposure we get only in Kartik. So because of that long exposure, it actually changes us in certain way, and it impacts our devotion also. So like whatever we do in our daily so like chanting and all, and then dealing with the devotees, so all these things definitely will change. So the Srila Gurudev's association is very, very important. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Any other devotees would like to speak? So one thing, if nobody has anything, I have some announcements. So from next week's onward, this week I intentionally did not change the timing because we haven't communicated with the devotees. We haven't informed you as well, because you are regularly attending. Most of you are regularly attending the troopers call. So from next weekend onward, basically, the format will slightly change. Timing will also slightly change. So Mataji, I think Syamala Mataji earlier informed that it will start from 7 p.m. But we are not starting from 7 p.m. Later we decided, discussed basically with multiple devotees, and we decided that multiple devotees from US also join, and many devotees from India, they have services in temple, and they finish it by 8 or 8:15, and then sometime they join while coming back to their home. So during so they join from car, also they join from wherever they are, and they mostly after 8 p.m. we don't have services. So the timings will be like, we will start from 8:05, 8:10. 8:10 sharp we will start the bhajan, because we have only 5 minutes to do that. And then immediately after that, either we will have the Srimad Bhagavatam class, or we have a series on like a kind of nourishment classes, for which will help in our devotional services, and different speakers will be invited for that. So like 8:15 sharp we are going to start the class, and then around 9 we will finish. Then we will have a Q&A around 5-10 minutes, and then diary chapter. So that's how the format will be. So a slight change, not much. We are basically trying to wrap it up by 9:30, because many of the devotees have raised concern on the classes going on till 10, and it impacts, so like they cannot wake up early morning. So we have decided to close everything by 9:30, so that everybody can go to bed early. So from 10th or 11th onward, we will follow this schedule. Anyone have any questions, concerns? You can share. Else we will close for today. Pajanya Prabhu, do you have anything to share? Okay, I think so. Now Mumbai book tour will start. So devotees from Mumbai
No,
will be
Guruji.
there. Okay, thank you very much. So we will close the call, Prabhuji, because devotees are also engaged in the book tour.
Yes, Guruji.
Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Guruji. One second.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
Yes.
नामाचार्य श्रीदास ठाकुर की जय।
Hare Krishna.